My name's Holden, a.k.a. Mr Phormula. Uned Holden, a.k.a. Mr Phormula. Today we're going to do some beat matching skills, bit of record scratching, and hopefully get you on course to making some creative DJing. So first of all, I'm going to run you through the equipment needed and required in order to be a budding DJ enthusiast. Cychwyn awr, dwi'n mynd I redeg chi trwy'r ger da chi angen I gallu gwneud dim bach o wiki eich hunan. These are called turntables. These are classed as old school these days since a lot of DJs use CDs. So we have two turntables. These are direct drive Vestax PDX 2000s. Really good, old school, good for doing vocal scratching, bit of wiggity bomb. In the middle we have what we call a DJ mixer. This is different from your average mixers. Mae hyn dipyn bach yn gwahanol achos yn y mixer yma gennych chi crossfader. Because on this mixer you have a crossfader which is used to flick between the two decks. Felly os mae hwn ar y chwydd, ti'n clywed y record player chwyth yn dod allan. Os mae ar y dde, ti'n clywed y record player ar y dde allan. So if this crossfader is on the left, you'll hear the left turntable come out of the speakers. If it's on the right, you hear the right turntable come out of the speakers. If it's in the middle, you hear both record players come out of the speakers. That's why we use a crossfader to mix between the records. So you're constantly mixing one into the other through the use of these over here, which we call headphones. Da chi gyd I weld hyn, you've all seen these. Da chi'n gwisgo nhw ar y pen, wear them on your head obviously, and you hear what you're doing on the other record while the other one is playing out of the speaker. Mae soundio'n cymhleth ond dydw ddim. It sounds a bit more complicated than what it actually is. So we'll be using these. I'm then using what we call a Korg Chaos pad, which is this machine over here, which we use for creating audio effects. Dan ni'n defnyddio hwn I creu audio effects. One thing you don't want to get into is disguising bad beat matching skills with effects. That's no way going to make you a good DJ. Felly mae hwnna'n rhywbeth pwysig da chi angen dysgu. That's something important that you really do need to learn. So these decks are running through here, into the Chaos pad, out the Chaos pad into what we call a mixer, which again you'll need. Mae hwn yn redeg mewn I mixer bach. This is just an average conventional mixer. Wedyn mae hwn yn redeg o fyna i'r speaker. Then it runs from this mixer into a speaker. It's a powered speaker, which means there's an amp in it. So depending on what your setup is, you might need an amp separately. So you might go from the mixer to the amp to the speaker. Yeah, so mae'n dibynnu ar be di setup chi. Yn fyma dwi'n mynd o'r mixer sydd I powered speaker. So it just depends on your setup, but it's all quite simple. It's not that complicated. It looks a bit more tricky than what it actually is, really. Okay, so I'm going to speak you now through some fundamental issues that you really need to get to grips with if you want to be a successful DJ. Dwi'n di siarad chi trwy un neu ddau bit da chi really angen gwybod amdano os da chi isio cymryd DJ on fel rhywbeth sy'n seriously. So I'm going to start off by just explaining to you the importance of EQ, equalization. This is quite a simple mixer. It's a two-channel battle mixer which scratch DJs use. I'll go into more of that with you after. But just to get on top of the surface of the EQ, usually you've got what we call a three-band. This is only two bands, so you've got high and bottom here. So you've got top end and bottom end. So gyda chi top a gwylod mewn ffordd. So mae un yn rheoli bass, llall yn rheoli top end. One controls the bass, one controls the top end, yeah? What you want to avoid is having everything turned up to make it sound louder. That's not how it works. If you look at your channels on here, you'll see that the light corresponds with how loud the music is. So if that's going red, it just sounds like mud. Mae'n just sounding fel mud. You want to avoid it totally, yeah? So you've got a trim volume over here. You want to have that down. Dach chi'n gael y trim na lawr. So mae'n got to bod yn y gwir. It has to be in the green. First thing I'm going to show you now, beat matching. I'm only going to scrape the surface of it. It works via a process of counting bars, okay? So it's not just going, I'm a DJ, I'm a DJ, I'm a DJ. It doesn't work like that. Os da chi eisiau DJ yn iawn, da chi'n gorfod cymryd o'n serious, I cannot point to it. If you want to DJ properly, you've got to put a lot of practice in, and you've got to put a lot of concentration in. First of all, I'm going to show you how this works, right? So if the beat's playing, you want to be counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Da chi angen bod yn cyfri trwy'r amser. You need to be counting all the time. So, if I wait for this to start here, right, so you want to be 1, 2, 3, 4, if you look at my fingers, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you constantly want to be counting those 1, 2, 3, 4s in your head, and what happens is you want to match this record up with that one, And the way you do that is by counting 1, 2, 3, 4 on this one. But you'll be doing it in your headphones, okay? So fyddwch chi'n neud o on the headphones, so fy neb yn clywed be ydych chi'n neud. You'll be doing it in here so nobody can hear what you're doing, yeah? So you want to be constantly, get the first beat, yeah, the 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, bang. You let it go. Yeah, so once you let it go, the theory is it matches up with this one, okay? So you use these here, we call these pitch controls. And the pitch in this case means the speed, the tempo. Felly, da chi'n defnyddio hein, you adjust your speed. You use these to adjust your speed, okay? So I'll quickly do this for you. If we get this rolling over here. Okay, so this is going to be starting. Count the 1, 2, 3, 4. Cyfrwch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bang. Yeah? A proper DJ knows how to beat match. There's no way around it. Mae'r DJ iawn yn gwybod sut I beat matcho, a na fod, does na'm byd arall amdan y peth, yeah? Even if you use software, you can beat match things automatically, but still a good DJ will know the basics, and you have to know the basics if you want to take it seriously. Felly mae'n pwysig iawn bod chi'n dysgu ac yn canolbwyntio yn iawn os da chi eisiau fod yn DJ iawn. Okay, so this is a guideline for a ×2 multiplier, which is moving back and forth between two songs of the same genre. So I'll get this going and you can see for yourselves. So now I'm going to demonstrate to you a ×2.5 multiplier. Rhan dwi'n mynd I ddangos chi sut I gael multiplier 2.5. Mixing 3 songs within the same genre and also demonstrating a good use of EQ and effects, if you do have effects. So we'll get straight into it. So we're now getting to the ×3 multiplier, under ×3 multiplier, and basically I'd like to see more than 4 tracks get mixed, 4 minimum, seamlessly of course, good understanding of EQ, good understanding of effects, maybe a bit of looping as well, and also a bit of scratching, which we're about to get into now. Felly, so ni'n licio weld 4 can mwy gael I mixio mewn efo'i gilydd, so ni'n licio weld dim bach o EQ yn cael ei defnyddio, dim bach o effects, just what your average professional DJ would do really. If you take DJing seriously, then these are the tools of the trade, you need to know how to use them inside out. So we're going to do a bit of scratching. The basic principle of it works like this. You've got a crossfader. Rwan efo'r crossfader, da chi'n defnyddio I torri'r sŵn mewn ag allan. With the crossfader you can cut the sound in and out, obviously, like we mentioned earlier. So if I have a sample on here, pulling it back and forth in my hand, what the crossfader does is cut the sound. So if you're going la, la, you can use this to go yeah, it sounds a bit more complicated than what it is, but I'll demonstrate it to you, yeah? So, yeah. You can cut it up, which is what we call a transform. Yeah. Felly, Mae'n eitha hawdd, really, unwaith ydych chi'n gael mewn iddo. Once you get into it, it's quite simple, but obviously, for me to say that's quite easy because I've been doing it for a while. But I'm by no means a professional scratch DJ. If you see what some of the real pros do, obviously, if you're into DJing, then you will have seen what some of them do, and it's just incredible. So I'm only going to touch on some of the basics. Dwi'n mynd I just dangos y basics I chi. Felly, I cychwyn efo, dwi'n mynd I dangos baby scratch. First of all, it's a baby scratch, which is quite simple. It's just a crossfader in the middle, pull the record back and forth. Yeah. So mae'n eitha syml, tynnu'r record nôl ag ymlaen a gadael o fynd. Baby scratch. Transform scratch, then you galw hwn yn transform scratch. You basically go wiki, 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 so you're pulling it back and forth, and you want to chop the sound. So you want to be going da 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 with this hand, with the free hand. So you want to go, yeah, you can speed it up. So ydych chi cyflwyno fo'n un o'n araf mae fyny chi. So ready to transform. That's called the transform scratch. You can also do different variations of a transform. You can make variations gwahanol. Felly you could maybe flick the fader into triplets, so it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so you'd be... Yeah, so you can use it to sort of chop the sound up. So there's a lot of various techniques. You can even use it just to fade the volume of a scratch out. So you could go full volume, go down, go to 3/4 of the way, go down, go halfway, go down. So what you're making is like an echo. Yeah, so you can use it to fade the sound in and out. And they're all just useful tools, really. Another important factor when you're scratching, of course, is the EQ. Usually you'd want the bass to be quite low, because otherwise the bass is going to pick up the rumble of your hand on the deck. Felly mae'n pwysig gallu reoli'r EQ hefyd. Again, it's all just tricks of the trade and things that you need to know if you're going to DJ. So I'm going to put this little beat on, and I'll demonstrate to you a bit of wiggity wiggity bomb. Yeah, so na I roed hwn ar, a gan I weld lle mae'n mynd. So that's a basic of you how scratching works. Include this and you will surely get a ×3 multiplier. Felly mae hwn yn dim bach o scratch os da chi'n gael dim bach o hwn I mewn i'ch perfformiad chi, gowch chi marciau uwch.